we're still happy that you're with us. And we've got a lot to cover today. I'm Paul Jameson, your host with Jameson Realty, Jameson Property Investments, and of course Jameson Property Management, here with my good friend Preston Sandlin with Home Inspection Carolina. Hey, Preston.
Hey, Paul. Glad to ride sidecar today.
Yeah, man, it's fun. It's always good. Preston's always got tremendous ideas going on. And I will say, if for those of you like me that are very visual, I'm sitting in the studio today. My producer TJ has a shirt on that has used every color that is in the box of crayons.
All 64.
Yes.
All 64.
With the
And,
sharpie.
Yeah, I
and
think
I'm
so.
sitting next to Preston, who has a pair of pants on. Quite interesting. And if you want to see what those pants look like, you can jump on his Facebook page, right? At Home Inspection Carolina's Facebook page.
That's correct. And I also own InspectorFancyPants.com, so you can check that out as well.
Well, there you go.
There's a story behind that.
I'm in my usual uniform of a suit and tie, so you don't have to have any kind of visual with me. The ugly you see is the ugly you get. All right, so besides all that, but the fashion statements here, we're here to talk about real estate, everything having to do with it, everything that could affect the value of your home, ideas about the value of your home, and ways to protect your home and prepare whether you're wanting to sell, buy, keep your home, renovate, change it, do things, have interest, insights. That's what we're here for. Usually when we're live, we invite you to call in, but today we're going to talk about the power of the pre-inspection. On Preston's side, and I'll tell you, I'm a huge believer.
Yep.
Every home that I have ever sold for myself personally, and I always refer to my clients, is it's always good to get a home pre-inspection so that before the time comes.
Absolutely. Yeah, you protect your clients on the back end because so many times, you have to negotiate the price twice if you don't have it. I call it BI and AI, before inspection and after inspection.
Right.
Because you agree on not you, Paul, but other realtors, they agree on a certain price, and then they have the inspection, and lo and behold, there's $5,000 worth of damage. So now they got to have another renegotiation on the back end, and it's not pleasant because a lot of times people are already at their end of as high or low as they possibly want to go, and it can go south.
And as many times that, I always say to people, getting the price agreed to and the contract written and the offer to purchase is a small part of the celebration process. You still got to get through the rest.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And mitigating that repair portion is a big piece of that.
Absolutely. Well, and all kinds of bad things can happen. If you think about it, I mean, we buy cars that way. We get the Carfax, or I don't know, I probably should have said that. I don't know if they pay, but the report on the car.
Send them a bill.
Yeah. Even when we bought a new dog, I got the report from the vet. If you think about it, everything you buy is inspected, and you get to look at it and check it out. The hotels are reviewed before you put your credit card down. It's kind of backwards the way we've been doing it, really.
That's right. Well, we're going to talk a lot about that, and we're going to kind of walk through the benefits of that and some creative ideas that Preston has in ways that you can work with his company. And I am a strong supporter of his business, and he works with a tremendous amount of my clients. I can't even count the number of inspections you do with us in a month, let alone a year. It's crazy.
I can look it up, but we appreciate it, and we like doing business with people who care about their clients, and Paul certainly does.
Yeah, and the other point before we go forward, and I'm going to talk today about some updates that pay off in your home, and I'm going to also talk about some updates that I really like, whether you're using it for an investment property or whether you're getting it ready to sell. Preston, I had a situation a couple of weeks ago. I represented the seller.
Okay.
And we had someone come out. It doesn't matter who. It's just the situation I want to talk about. It wasn't you, obviously. And we got an inspection report back. And the inspection report was on a 25-year-old house.
Right.
And what was the challenge for me in that inspection report was inferences in situations that didn't exist. And let me explain.
Okay.
the 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 inspector made inferences about structural issues that, even though he couldn't see them, he said you may want to have a structural engineer come out and inspect this.
What?
Or compared structural standards from 25 years ago to today, which is fine, but also stated that, you know, you need a structural engineer to come out and check them just because they weren't of today's code. Well, when you're dealing with a 25-year-old house, the building standards and the structural standards have changed. Right. And so clarity in the report versus, I was looking for a word that rhymes with clarity, but I came up with scarcity, but that's not
Scarcity.
Yeah, you know.
Parody.
And, yeah.
It just doesn't fit though.
Yeah, but the home inspection report, who does it, how it's crafted,
Right.
how it is communicated, how it evolves, can be the difference between scaring somebody for the wrong reason
Right.
and having clarity with somebody
Right.
for the right reason.
Right. Well, we all want to protect the client, but, you know, being unnecessary alarmist or, you know, potentially just CYAing, and you know, creating unnecessary stress, you know, because sometimes you have buyers reading this report and, you know, they're an accountant or whatever. I'm not going to get
Oh,
hate
here
from
it goes.
accountants.
Here it
Yeah.
comes.
I didn't mean, let's just say non-building trades person, you know, reads this, and the way it reads, if you're not really familiar, it's pretty alarmist. And you know, and actually that's a compliment to all accountants. I love accountants. I was an accounting. I'm an accounting dropout. But anyway, but you understand what I'm saying. I mean,
You don't give them enough credit.
there you go. There you go. I mean, you know, it's like saying this could happen, that could happen. I mean, I could get hit by a truck today. I mean, anything could happen. But you need to have some reason, if you're going there or suggesting that, you need to have some strong reason, because that's going to cost, you know, to get a structural engineer out there, that's going to cost another $400. Do you feel strongly that there needs to be one, and why? Not just there could be cracks, there could be something hidden, you may want to get a structural. Well, that's $400, and how sure are you, and what makes you say that, you know?
Yeah, and I think that there are certainly times where you want to call in what I call the
Absolutely.
big guns, the structural engineers and the electricians and so on. But, you know, I feel like, and again, I've gone through these different phases, and, you know, one of the things that, let's take the roof, for example, and I'm going off script, so we'll come back.
Sure.
In the home inspection report, one of the things I love about your team is the roof is one of those areas where your guys can identify things that will come up in another report on a roof, right? You got loose shingles, you got overhang issues, you have, you know, granular loss, you have, you know, venting problems, you have whatever the case may be, okay?
Right.
You can name tons of them.
Sure.
And then I see others that send out a roofer to do a roofing inspection. Well, what do you think they're going to say? If they're a roofer and they're inspecting your roof, what do you think they're going to say?
Let me see. They could turn a $150 inspection into a $5,000 roof job.
Right. And if the roof is over 10 years old, what do you think they're going to say? So, man, I'm already out of time. Golly. Okay, all right. So we're going to go into the second segment. Hang with us. We're going to continue this conversation with Preston. We're here in the studio. Stay with us on the show, Your Real Estate Today.